I use the same introduction for every part of the series. Feel free to skip to the 2-minute 40-second mark to see the actual segment. Every winter I try and help out people through the snowstorms, and unfortunately this year my truck broke down in the middle of helping, and this wonderful and amazing community rallied around me and came up with $10,000 to get me a new truck, and I cannot thank all of you enough for everything you've done for me. I thank all of you guys from the bottom of my heart, so I vowed to pay half of it forward, and I want to try and help as many people as I can get gardens started. I also want to help people get set up with chickens, and one final goal is I want to try and plant fruit trees in public spaces like parks. That way the trees and fruits will be there forever, and the public can just get fruit whenever they need it. I feel self-sufficiency is the answer to most of the problems we now face. It can help us prepare as a community, and ultimately it will give us freedom in this world. If we depend on the supply chain for survival, whoever controls the supply chain controls our lives. My ultimate goal is to see the entire community survive off of the food we create locally, even maybe creating a consignment store where we can trade our extra produce and goods and just do everything here on a local level. Self-sufficiency as a family or as a community is the only way I see that we can truly fix things. Plus, the health benefits of eating locally and fresh, healthy food are just immense. I unfortunately do not have a green thumb and am terrible at raising gardens, but I have a strong back and I have access to a dump truck where I can deliver dirt and help work the ground and do all the hard work to get the garden started. And from there, it's just going to be up to people to take care of them themselves. I've given away gardens for a lot of years now. I think the first time I did it was in 2012. But this year on May 2nd, I started this YouTube channel as a promise I made to my son that passed away, just to try and do something positive in the world. I wanted to make a video every day for an entire year of something positive. So this is a part of my journey, and I'm just documenting everything as I go. I also came up with an idea on how to help people on a local level, and I created a website. I call it Lake of the Ozarks Volunteer Connection, that connects volunteers directly to people in need. And I feel that instead of paying taxes and stuff, we could help our communities hands-on right where we're standing and make our communities the best we can. And part of that is keeping track of all of the money that was donated to me and keeping it all open and honest. So I'll be tracking the money and where it goes through this as just an example on a different way to do things. Thank you guys very much, and I appreciate you all for following along. So this was the first garden I was able to deliver. It was out in Ulman, Ulman. I was able to deliver a yard and a half out to the house I was taking the dirt to. Each yard weighs 2,500 pounds. I'm actually using a friend's truck. They're truly great friends and just all around great people. They do a lot of stuff for the community. They're really amazing people, and I just can't thank them enough for everything they do to help me and help the community. They're just letting me use the truck to help try and deliver these gardens. I try to donate gardens every year. I definitely haven't been able to do it every year, but I just generally try to help people get gardens going as much as I can. And they let me use the truck every year. Somehow I forgot what it hauled, and I was thinking that it hauled 4,000 pounds instead of 4 tons, which is 8,000 pounds. They don't like to load it over 4 tons, so I don't put that much on there. I try to keep away from that. I don't know what I was thinking. I know better. So on this first load, I only got a yard and a half. Each yard weighs 2,500 pounds. So I was thinking I was going to be about 3,750. But I was also pulling a trailer. The trailer kind of didn't really weigh anything as far as weight, spring weight, because it was pretty evenly weight distribution where I could just pick it up and move it with my hands super easy. So there wasn't hardly any weight on the bumper. It was just pulling it down the road. And then I went and got a chicken coop for him. They had found one somehow online, and I just went and got it. I was able to pay for it for him. I paid $50 for the chicken coop, which was an amazing deal. And then the dirt from DNR Materials was $53.64 a yard. So for a yard and a half, it was $80.64. And then gas from Lori to Camdenton and then to Allman and back to Camdenton to DNR for the second load, I was just guessing at about $30. So overall, I had 80 in dirt, 50 in the chicken coop, and 30 in fuel. So that was $160, and I don't really count any change. I'm just going to round down, so that way I'll just give a little extra. So that was my first garden and chance I had to do something as far as helping people out with self-sufficiency. This next garden was on the same day as I did the first one. So I had went from Lori to Almond, and then back to Camdenton to DNR. DNR is one of the best places around to get garden dirt. They have an awesome mixture blend that they do where they take soil and mix it in with sand and compost and mulch and just have a blend of everything, and it's just perfect for gardens, and I like to use that to try and help get everybody going. That way people don't have to work on tilling it and fertilizing it and doing all that. It's kind of already done. So this time I picked up the load in Camdenton at DNR, and I drove from there out to Iberia and delivered this one to Iberia. This time I realized that I could put a little more weight on the truck, and I had a little bit of room, so I put 2.5 yards on the truck this time. So at 2,500 pounds a yard, that was $62.50 as far as weight goes, and that left me a little bit extra to pull the trailer and stuff. 4 tons was max for the truck. I'm traveling a little distance and stuff, so I want to take it a little easier on the truck, so I'm probably going to leave my loads at about 2.5 yards and just kind of take it easy. Once again, it isn't my truck, so I'm trying to be respectful and just be as easy on it as I can. So this load ended up costing about $134 in dirt, and I figured the gas from Camdenton to Iberia and back to Lori for being about $30. So I'm going to say it's $164 on this load. It was a pretty fun one getting it delivered. I really had to finagle the truck into some places. They were super, super happy, and they were just really great people, and I was glad I could help them out. But that was the second garden that I was able to deliver.